Hello everyone, my name is Hannah, and I am a true sculptor of my own body. I made myself the prom queen at my school, but just a couple of years ago, I did not even dare dream that. Today, I want to tell you my story and I hope it will help you not to repeat my mistakes. Let's go back 3 years. During that time, I was a thin, cute dancer. I did athletic dancing and had a wonderful partner. We went to regionals and prepared to perform at an international competition. We spent a lot of time training together. On that most important day of the competition, I injured myself, and our pair got a second place because I made a mistake. I was left alone. My partner transferred to another dance club. He has a new partner, and he did not forgive me for that mistake. I was on crutches 2 years ago. My coach said that my recovery process wasn't going very well, and he advised me to go to the amateur league because the pain in my leg did not allow me to train regularly, which meant he could not rely on me. I also had no partner now. No one wanted to dance with me, and from that day, it all began. I gave up on dancing altogether. I locked myself up at home. Nothing made me happy. I did not understand why everyone had betrayed me. Was I to blame for breaking my own leg? Wasn't I the one who worked the hardest to get the first place? For a while at first, I cried constantly. I tried to distract myself from bad thoughts. I started to just mindlessly watch TV and eat everything that came into my hands. At the same time, I was still homeschooled and moved very little. My parents didn't really pay attention to the situation. They thought it was easier for me that way, which made it seem like everything was fine. My room was gradually filling up with pizza and burger boxes, and I often ate French fries. And the best thing was to watch TV with chips and popcorn. I had a lot of sugary drinks, lots of sugary soda. I ate constantly. It seemed like I was eating even in my sleep. Otherwise, I could not explain where all the candy wrap came from in the morning. I didn't want to go home. I did not want to go to the doctors at all. I just didn't see any point in that. I could not dance anymore anyway. And so, 6 months later, the doctor himself came to our house, a year and a half ago. The doctor walked into my room and froze. I sat in front of him 50 kilograms heavier. Yes, a whole 50 kilograms heavier. I got incredibly huge and could not walk properly. And the doctor made a disappointing diagnosis. If I do not lose weight, then I will limp all my life. It was terrible. I immediately kicked him out of my room and locked myself in there. The doctor talked to my parents for a long time and explained that they cannot follow my lead and give in to my desires. I needed help urgently. They may have to be strict, but that would only benefit me. My parents began to restrict me from eating everything I wanted. They began to take me to the doctors for massage and even therapy. I did not want any of that. And then they made me go back to school. Everyone's first reaction when they saw me was shock and disbelief. And then my classmate, who had always been jealous of me in the past, said that she would now become the prom queen because no dress would fit such a huge body of mine. And you know what happened after that? For the first time in many months, I did not cry or run home to eat chips. I got very angry. I felt very sick that she would now be better than me. And I challenged her that I would be the prom queen in the end. Of course, she laughed at me, but now the whole school was following the situation 1 year ago. From that day, I started my transformation, which was very difficult for me. My leg hurt. I didn't even have the strength to run. Plus, no one supported me. Because when I was a dancer, I hadn't had time to make friends. I came up with my diet myself, chose the exercises on my own, without no help from others. Every day, I got up with the thought that I had to prove to everyone that I simply could do it. And the main thing was to prove that to myself. Time dragged on endlessly. And then finally, I saw minus 10 kilograms on the scale. It was a victory. I just now realized how easy it was to gain these pounds and how difficult it was to lose them 6 months ago. To see better results, I bought myself a dress for prom. The dress was the same size I wore before I gained weight. It was a magnificent dress, and I knew that I would be a real queen in it. The extra weight was gone, but it was very hard. Our fight became the gossip of the entire school. Everyone was waiting for the ball and argued about which of us would win. And the dress that I bought still did not button on me. I then also started swimming and going to the gym. All my time was spent fighting the extra pounds. Prom day. I hadn't tried on the dress the last month. Today is the prom. If it doesn't button up on me now, then all is lost. I looked at the dress and I was afraid to even take it in my hands. Then I gathered the courage, and now I was standing on the stage next to her. My dress looked stunning. Which of us will be the number 2 this time? And who will get the crown? At that moment, I realized that I did not care anymore. I got into my dress. I had already won. I did it. I made it to this moment, and this is all that matters. And then there was silence. I won prom queen. I was number 1. Do you think that's the end? No, I'm going back to dancing. So, see you on the dance floor.
Hi, I'm Anna. As you can see, I'm not the slimmest girl in the world, but I have no problems with that. And men adore me. But it hasn't been like that all the time. You might wonder how this can be possible. I'm sure there are overweight girls you know who are either very insecure or too self-confident and sincerely believe that leggings and crop tops make them look irresistible. My secret is different though. I know that haters laugh at me and say that I threaten guys around me to eat them and all their relatives if they don't flirt with me. But it is nonsense, of course. Smart people say that you can change your life only if you overcome certain challenges. And this is what has happened to me. I used to be really shy and self-hating, but I wanted to date guys. I looked at them and thought that I would never be able to talk to any one of them. And when I dared to start a conversation, it usually turned out to be a disaster. I mumbled, sweated, my face turned red, jokes were too silly, both the guy and me felt awkward. I could see that it made me even more nervous. In such situations, I felt too humiliated and tried to stop talking and leave, or the guy left first. Finally, I got tired of living like that, and I made up my mind to lose weight in any way possible. I went to the gym and read plenty of materials on diets. The most effective diet was the one that required to drink as little liquid as possible. So I decided to try it, and I chose the most intensive training program. I wanted to see changes as soon as possible. So I worked really hard. I drank very little amounts of water, and the result was perfect. I didn't sweat that much any longer when I spoke to guys. It made me more confident. I believed that I was doing right, so I kept training and avoid drinking. Now I understand that I had to do things slowly to help my body adjust to changes. But I wanted to see quick results, which led me to the hospital. I had severe malnutrition and exhaustion. A week later, I gained the weight that I had lost and even a few pounds more. I looked in the mirror and felt miserable. I had worked so hard, but it wasn't worth it. I was sure I was a loser. I didn't want to live. I decided to kill myself. I stole some pills from the nurse and took them all. Then I lay on my bed and started waiting. I thought about my life, parents, relatives, friends, and suddenly realized I wasn't ready to give up, but I already had my stomach burning. I jumped up from the bed, ran out from the ward, and started shouting that I needed gastric lavage, or I would die. A nurse saw me, looked at the bottle of pills that I had taken, and told the doctor that I consumed plenty of laxatives. I rushed to the toilet. On my way there, I was thinking about how stupid I was. I managed to fail even the suicide mission. I didn't stop thinking about it, though. I decided that falling from the hospital roof could be more effective. But the idea of other people watching a bloody mess on the road made me feel nauseous. Fortunately for me, doctors informed my parents about my suicide attempt, and parents hired a good psychologist for me. A week later, I no longer wanted to die. I was ready for gradual work to make my life happy. When I was discharged, parents also hired a personal trainer and a nutritionist to help me. Under their supervision, I started to see first results soon. I kept seeing the psychologist, and soon we became good friends. This period of my life was very productive. I lost 24 pounds, learned to accept and love myself, bought trendy clothes that made me look gorgeous. I felt more confident and wasn't afraid to talk to people, even men. My father was glad to see that my life changed, so he decided to retire from business and start a career as a politician. I knew he dreamt of running for mayor of the city, and I was happy that the positive changes in my life would help him make his dream come true. I was rather self-confident at that time. I started to notice that guys paid a lot of attention to me. I wasn't in a hurry to begin a relationship. I flirted and loved the process. No, I wasn't slender yet, But I already knew that it was my confidence rather than appearance that mattered in these kinds of things. I stopped attending the gym because I didn't have time for it, but I continued to maintain my diet. I had many dates and enjoyed my new life. A few months later, I met a handsome guy, Bill, who also wanted to be a politician. I was sure that my father would approve him. Bill loves me and often brings flowers and candies to me. I love him too. But I do flirt with other men. I want Bill to understand that he is not the only man who is interested in me. Besides, flirting and dating are like a drug to me. A drug which I can't have enough, no matter how much I consume. Probably I still have that little insecure girl inside me. My father was elected mayor, and to celebrate the victory, he bought a car for my boyfriend, saying that he had to drive me whenever and wherever I wanted. I have a good life now. I enjoy every day and think about starting a self-confidence development course for overweight girls. I wish you all to be confident and optimistic. Be yourself and subscribe to our channel.